Paul. We're all right now.
Hello and welcome to this week's See You Next Thursday, in a week where normal service has been resumed, well, certainly in La Liga. I mean, Bellingham scored again and Sergio Ramos was sent off for the 29th time, I think, in his career. And, oh yeah, Seamus is laughing because he knows
that's
the
brilliant.
sending off is the best sending off I think I've ever seen, I've got to say, isn't it? Would you two argue with that?
That's the most Ramos thing I've seen. Like,
Yeah, it was brilliant.
that just encapsulates him.
For those who haven't seen it, I'm going to have to explain this. Why we burst out laughing. He goes flying in, and the referee shows him a second yellow card and the red card. He's like, no, and all his teammates surround the referee saying, no, you can't do, we can't send him off for that. Go and have a look at the VAR. So eventually, after he's screaming at him, he goes over and looks at the VAR screen, comes back, wipes off the yellow card, said, no, it's not a second yellow card, shows him a straight red, sends him straight off. Even better, he then sends off one of his teammates as well for protesting. Too much. So there was two of them sent off, so they were down to 9 men because of him complaining about being sent off. So they ended up with 2 going off instead. Yeah, and he's going to spend an extra game ban as well for that. I mean, La Liga's bizarre. They ignored Mason Greenwood's goal on their official account. Nobody actually knows he scored it in Spain. Nobody even knows he's playing there, apart from Getafe.
Yeah.
Everyone else hates him too much to notice him. I mean, literally,
Yeah, I do.
I bet the only person who acknowledges his existence is that Luis Rubiales. He probably is best mate.
Not so.
Yeah, I bet they go out partying together, don't they, after the games? But yeah, so how are you two? Anyway, sorry, I forgot to introduce them. We've got Ed 25, our Billy, just for a short period, so that's why we're rushing a bit.
Good morning. Good evening, wherever you are.
And of course Seamus, who's got no life, so he's here for as long as we want him, which is basically not at all really, but we're stuck with him because nobody else will come for free, so we've got to have him. Hey Seamus, how are you, mate?
Oh no, you're lying. You say no one comes for free, but I actually pay my fair dues to get in.
That's even worse.
For those who don't know, I have to pay them to be allowed.
Should do.
Or at least would just ban me outright from the sites and everywhere.
Yeah. I wish you would fucking pay. Maybe that's what we need to do, is start charging people to come on the podcast.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, we'll make a bit of money there, couldn't we, Bill?
Absolutely, trust.
I don't know about Shane, but I say it might put them off telling them Seamus is on, working with a luck ender. I'm not sure they'd want to do that. But me and you, Bill, hey, we'll have
you could. Yeah. We could make a fortune. We could make a fortune, because what would Liverpool supporters enjoy doing? Roasting Man United supporters and roasting Everton supporters. Both of us are doing very well in that department.
If anyone's
maybe that's a business idea.
If anyone's listening and they want to offer up a payment to come on the podcast and roast Seamus and Billy, that was your chance, mate. We're open to offers.
You've got Billy for an hour and I have all night long.
No price too big. I'd just like to say, no amount's too much to offer. The higher the better. Right, we better get on quick then, hadn't we, since we've only got you for a few minutes. Which do you want to start on, the Premier League ones, or do we want to talk about the last night's Champions League game?
I'll go to the Premier League first and get that done first, to review the games from last week.
Yeah, so we start Saturday was the first one, wasn't it? The early game was Man City Liverpool. Bit of a boring game, but
yeah, it wasn't the greatest game, but thought City just edged it personally, but that's not being biased. Thought they had Liverpool had a few good chances, mind, but I thought they dominated the play, a bit more than Liverpool. As you say, it was a bit of a dour game, but it was still exciting to watch, and a great goal from Trent, and a good goal from Haaland. I think overall, possibly a draw was about the right result.
Okay, got to ask you, considering that you're always criticising Alexander Arnold for not, you always say he's just he's not a good defender. What did you think of his performance? Well, he was bloody brilliant.
He was okay.
He was brilliant against Doku. Doku's absolutely sensational player, and he kept him out of the game apart from one.
I thought he got a good better cover than he has been doing. And although he got roasted a couple of times, only a couple of times, and Doku is a very good player, I thought he was adequate at fullback rather than sensational. I thought he done well. I thought he looked better when he was more forward, which is my view of Trent anyway. I think he's better going forward than he is going backwards.
Everyone knows that. That's
yeah.
But that's just because he's the best in the world going forward. It's like, of course he's going to be better. Unless he's the best defender in the world as well, he's going to struggle to to reach the same heights, to be fair.
He's all right. He had a good game. He did have a good game. And I'm not saying, and, one swallow doesn't make a summer for me. But he done well. He done well defensively.
It was a good day.
He took his goal very well. He did take his goal very well. So kudos to the guy. I want the guy to do well. I really do. I like the local lads coming through. For any team, I like to see local lads coming through. And, everyone thinks I don't like him. I do like him, but I set my standards high when it comes to Scouse players. And so I want him to do a bit better. I really do. Defensively, that's all. But he did have a very good game, and kudos to the guy. I thought he was the best Liverpool player on show. I thought Szoboszlai was a bit subdued again, which is 3 or 4 games on the trot. He hasn't been great.
He's more restrained now.
Yeah, he seems to be, yeah. But he's had a hard run, to be honest with you. Maybe he may need a game or two to get his mojo back. And I thought McAllister was poor, but that was...
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I thought McAllister was poor, but that's just my opinion of McAllister.
I thought he was good.
I think he actually waits for the ball too long, waits for the ball to come to him rather than actually moving towards the ball. But I'm not saying he was awful. He just wasn't one of Liverpool's better players, and I think he got the talent to make it. I still don't think the number 6 suits him. I think he's the number 8. But that will come. But he done all right, but I see McAllister over the last couple of years. I think he's a fabulous player, but it just hasn't clicked for him yet. Hopefully it will do.
Yeah, I hope so too. What did you see it, Seamus?
No, I thought that game was pretty insignificant for me, so I didn't want to watch the Bourfist.
Talking to forecast, to be honest with you.
It's not of interest. It's at the top of the table, so it's
exactly.
not going to be involved.
Exactly. I have no horse in the race.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Alisson didn't have the greatest game, which is unusual for him. He's usually fantastic, but
he made a couple of good saves, though. That's the thing. I mean,
he made one outstanding save from Foden when he would have made it 2-0. That may have been game over, but he made a fantastic save. It's just an uncharacteristic swipe that led to their goal, But no one's infallible. You're going to make mistakes now and again, but he's still the best keeper in the world. And but he did make a couple of errors, but that's his standards that he set. Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah,
it was kicking that was the problem, but they were putting Liverpool under a lot of pressure, and he was not having options to play it. And I wonder if his injury was as a result of him. I wonder if he was carrying that going into the game, hence his kicking being off. Because you know,
Yeah.
if you're trying to kick the ball with carrying a leg injury, maybe he shouldn't. It probably, I think, you know, the more I didn't think it at the time. Obviously, I was too busy thinking, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" But like, yeah, afterwards, now I'm thinking about. You think back about. It, you think, I wonder if maybe, you know, they took a risk with his health.
Yeah, maybe.
And,
Maybe.
You know, maybe they should, you know, because it's Man City. Otherwise, I think he might have actually left him out for the break. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, and he's had a hard midweek as well, so you know maybe he was carrying a bit of an injury. It wasn't like the usual Allison kicking, which is usually excellent. And yeah, maybe he could have picked up an injury midweek or last week, whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, it's unusual for him to have a bad game, so you can, you know, he sets the standard so high that you don't expect him to. But he wasn't great, although he made 2 really good saves. He wasn't his usual unbeatable self.
But I've got to say, on the goal, even after his mistake, there was still plenty of time to see it out, but there was a lot of bad defending on that, particularly Matip, who was excellent. Other than that, he had a really good game, but he let himself down badly on the goal because he just didn't look around at any point and noticed that Erling Haaland's 2 inches away from him, so Erling Haaland was just able to go in unchallenged. If he'd have actually noticed he was there, he could have blocked him off and stopped that run. But he didn't.
Yeah.
And that was
Nathan Aki done very well. Aki done very well for the goal to set up Haaland. But Matip should have been closer. Yeah.
That run should have been stopped long before it got there again. That's the other thing. Ake shouldn't have been allowed to walk through. Everyone was scared to make a challenge, though. You could see it. They were all just backing away. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold's worrying about Doku running down the outside of him, so he's not closing down Ake. And nobody come across, you know, nobody really made a challenge. See, that's where McAllister's lacking.
Yeah.
That was when it showed where he's not a 6. Because if that had been Endo, you saw when he came on, as soon as somebody's running through and he just thinks, shit, take him out.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And he just took him out. You know, when he came on, almost the first thing he did was the guy's going to get in. He knew he couldn't get to him, so he just took him out. Not let him get a run at the defence. And I think that's where McAllister's lacking defensively. Much as I dislike, you know, to cheat, you know, because it is basically cheating to foul him like that. It's a cynical foul, but when you've got a defensive midfielder in that position, that's how. You know,
what he does, absolutely.
That's what they do, you know, and that's sadly it's part of the game is to. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that was the problem for me is that he, you know, they didn't. That was bad defending for their goal. Other than that, they didn't really create much other than those 2 shots. Though, it must be said. I know you said they dominated, but Liverpool just really kind of let them have it for most of the game, which I found really strange. When they did press. The couple of times they did press, they really cut them in a lot of trouble and, you know, and won the ball back really in dangerous areas. But they didn't do it enough. Which I
thought first half Liverpool were pretty poor, but second half I thought he put a really decent display. And, you know, it could have went either way, but I think in the end that a draw was probably a fair result.
I just thought a bit more pressing, and the City are there for the taking. They really were. I don't understand why Liverpool didn't press more. Because every time they pressed them, they panicked and gave the ball away. Every time. It wasn't like once or twice. It was literally every time Liverpool pressed them, they gave the ball away. They really are not they're not the team they once were. As in, you know, at the moment.
Absolutely not. I've been saying it all season. They are there to be taken. They missed Gundogan big time. You know, they miss the great sides in recent years. They miss David Silva, Mahrez. You know, they miss players like that who can change games, you know, with one ball or one pass. They haven't got that, and they're more hard working now because they have to be. They're missing De Bruyne massively, who wouldn't. But I thought Liverpool could have took that if they'd have been a bit more forward thinking. But listen, a job well done, I'd say, for Liverpool. They went there hoping not to lose. I didn't think they'd lose. And they got a draw, and I think it was a good result for Liverpool. Better than it was for City.
Yeah, I think it is a better result for Liverpool, must be said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you go away and you get a draw, it's always a better result for the away side as a rule, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Good result.
it's just a shame. It's the early kickoffs. They're always shit. I wish they would stop putting them on Liverpool on them. Because it's like, so often you watch the game and you're thinking, oh God, it's so bad. The atmosphere's drab, everything.
Yeah, it is.
And it's the same every time it's an early kickoff. I wish they'd. I don't know why it's always us. I really don't get it.
Yeah, seems that way.
Well, Liverpool have had 14 of them. Nobody else has had more than 6. And in the last few years. So that's
an amazing fact.
Yeah, it's more than double. I mean, that says it all. It doesn't make any sense, and it shouldn't be. It should be spread out more. I mean,
should I agree with that?
Personally, I'd get rid of the early kickoff altogether, even though it's better for me for watching at home. For me, because it's a better time of day, as in my personal. It's like I'm 8 hours ahead, so it's a better personal time for me. But still, I'd rather have a later kickoff and have a good game.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was 1-1 draw. Probably, I agree with you. I think it was a fair result. I don't think Liverpool did enough to win it, unfortunately. But I don't think City were that good either. So fair.
They weren't great.
Burnley West Ham United was the next one. Just about West Ham scraping through there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Burnley actually took the lead, I think, in that one, and but. West Ham, very West Hammy. Everyone talks about Spurs being very Spursy. I think it applies to West Ham as well. I don't think they're firing on all cylinders after a really good start. And they got away with a win against still a very poor Burnley side, even though they took the lead and must have expected maybe a bit more out of the game. But West Ham done enough, but you don't have to do a lot to beat Burnley these days, do you? Let's be honest.
West Ham are weird side. They've got the quality there to be more attacking, but they just never really show it until they either go behind or the game's nearly over. They don't actually show it for long enough periods, and they get caught out at times because of it.
But a good result. Away win in the Premiership is always a good result, no matter who it's against, whether it's Luton, Burnley, or a mid-table side like Brighton. It's a good result, and it shouldn't be frowned upon because it is a good result.
You say that like Brighton is like a mid-table side. All we've heard all season is how great Brighton are.
Not for me, but
you know what I think it is here. But anyway, should we move on to? There's not really a lot more to say about Burnley West Ham. The win over Burnley's hardly something to know about, is it? Like everyone beats them. It reminds me of that old joke. The kid in court, but wants to get divorced from his parents, and the judge says to him, "Who do you want to stay? Who do you want to? Why do you want to leave?" He said, "My dad beats me." He said, "Well, why don't you go live with your mum? My mum beats me." He said, "Well, who do you want to live with?" "Burnley, because they don't beat anyone."
That's alright, that'll be I like that.
Sorry, we'll move on to Luton Town Crystal Palace. Luton getting a win. Beat Palace 2-1. It's a bit of a shock.
Eze went off earlier, I think, didn't he, with an injury. And good win for Luton. I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. I think Palace are doing alright, although they've had a lot of injuries. And Luton, in the last few weeks, have started to pick up a bit and started to give teams a game, to give Liverpool a game. They're a bit better than what they have been.
Isn't that their second win this season?
Yeah, I think it is, it could cause a miracle upset if they stayed up, but it's still a way to go yet.
Yeah.
Still a lot of poor players.
Everton could get docked a few more points yet and give them a chance. We'll have to. So we haven't have we talked about it? Did we talk about the points deduction last week?
Yes,
By the way?
yes,
Yes,
we
we
did.
did. Just checking.
Yeah, we
I
did.
couldn't remember whether that was last week or not. Phew, that's okay. We don't need to discuss that. Thank fuck, 'cause I didn't think I could go through that again. Yes.
Remind me when, like, who did Luton beat? If this wasn't their first win.
Wasn't it Forest?
Who did they beat?
Wasn't it Forest?
I'm not sure whether it's Forest or Sheffield United. I think it was one of them, but I'm not
yeah,
sure.
well,
which one.
Billy, come on, this is embarrassing.
Oh, was it Everton?
Yes,
course
it
it
was.
was, yes.
At Woodison. It was
Yeah.
at
I
Woodison.
can't believe you
Yeah.
set me up there. You set me up there, Deeps.
Oh no!
He
so
beat us
that's-
3-1 at home. Yeah, he beat us 3-1 at home.
Yes.
No,
that's
2-1.
Yeah.
No, 2-1. I'm just checking. It was
Ah,
2-1.
God,
But I was
yes.
pretty sure. I was pretty
Thank
sure
you.
how it happened is like
Oh,
we.
Seamus, you're a legend. Remembering
Yeah,
that.
Billy.
Yeah.
That
Thanks for
always
that,
happens. Billy criticizes the team for being one of the worst
Yeah.
ever, and then they just go on to beat Everton next week.
Just to prove
Yeah,
the
it was
point.
always Watford. Yeah, it was always Watford for me.
Yeah,
The worst side in the world.
ever. Yeah, worst team ever to play in the Premier League. So they go and smash Everton the following week. It's just, you really shouldn't say anybody's bad,
Yeah.
really, should you, Bill?
I know
They're
that
great.
Jinx and not Brentford.
Yeah. So who's next then? Newcastle.
Newcastle,
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I tell you what, I did enjoy this. Chelsea's brought back to earth with a bump against the. I mean, there was quite a few getting in. It wasn't like a full side Newcastle had out either, was it? It was a bit of a mixed
Yeah,
bag.
7 or 8 players out. 7 or 8 first teamers they had.
No, that's
Jimenez.
no, there are 10 or 11 players out actually.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean first team players. You
Yeah,
know,
the ones that
there
would
were
have played.
7 regulars.
yeah, ones that
Yeah.
would have played. I think there was 7 or 8 that would have started. Definitely if they were fit. Which is even so,
Yeah.
that's a huge amount to miss for Newcastle who are still building. Yeah, if it's Man City, well, they've had Pep
Or
Guardiola in
Chelsea.
place. Chelsea, yeah, because they've got 500 players. They got about 35 teams they could pick. So shouldn't matter to them how many injuries they got, but they got absolutely spanked as well. It wasn't even like it was. You couldn't even argue with that
yeah.
result. And that
No,
1, 2, 3, 4,
What is
5,
he?
6,
that
7.
Jackson. What is it with
yeah.
him? He's
I don't know. He seems very poor to me. He's got all the attributes, but he doesn't produce them.
He destroyed Real Madrid. Was it last season for was it Villarreal?
Yeah, Villarreal. He has
Yeah.
he has power. He
He
has some
just can't
power.
score.
He's very quick, but from the limited I've seen of him, he doesn't have a great touch, and his finishing is worse than Lukaku's.
Oh, he's got no
Yeah.
brains as
No
well.
composure. No composure on the ball whatsoever. No, he hasn't.
No.
And I think a lot of the side looked like that though at the weekend. I thought Chelsea were very poor. They look on tough, but they don't actually produce that many goal scoring opportunities.
I can't believe
Yes.
people argue that Reece James is better than Trent
Tell
Alexander-Arnold.
that- What was that red card?
I
This
mean,
was one of the matches. This was one of the few matches I watched. Not the full, but the second half I watched the full. And what the hell was that red card? You idiot! You have the captain's armband.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Surprised at Reece James, to be honest with you.
That's
because he's
idiotic.
better than that.
Moronic.
Poor touch. Yeah, poor touch. He just got booked. You let someone in a position of danger because of a loose touch, and then you just bring him down. And he knew straight away it was gonna happen. He didn't even protest or anything.
It's
No.
unforgivable, that kind of thing. That's just stupidity. There's just...
And I'm a Reece James fan, actually. I like Reece James. I think he's a decent player. But I was very disappointed with him for being so idiotic there to get himself sent on.
I'm not
But-
the biggest
but
fan
we
of him.
must
He can't
be-
stay fit long enough to be a fan of him.
Yeah.
And we must remind people that the game was already done and dusted by the time James was
Even more.
sent off.
That makes it even worse for me.
Yeah,
Because the game's over, so last
yeah,
thing
they
you
went
do.
down. Yeah, they
No
went down to 10
excuses.
men. Yeah, they went down to 10 men, but that was not the reason they lost. They
No.
were already losing 3-1.
Yeah.
Your boy Gordon was on fire. The real Scouser.
Good old Anthony, yeah. Not a nice kid, he is.
He's so ginger now that he has to get his hair blonde
Hey, it's nothing wrong
just
with
to
being
hide that.
ginger. Nothing wrong with being ginger. Hey, he has got some good qualities then. He's got ginger hair, that's good quality. This might be his only one. But yeah,
He is
that
fast.
was an embarrassing result for Chelsea. They just look absolutely desolate. I mean, they just don't look like they've got it together all of a sudden. I mean, is that a one-off result or
Thiago Silva is a great player, right? He's a brilliant player, but he seems to have one of those
who?
mistakes in him. Thiago Silva.
I
Hero
think he's gone.
challenge.
I think he's gone this season. I think he's I think, and I've watched him this season. He looks done. I think he might be okay to play
In a back three, I think.
Or I was thinking more on the lines of I think he's now a player that can play once every
Off
few
the bench.
weeks. You know what I mean?
Or off
Once
the
every
bench.
few weeks
Yeah.
or off the bench. He needs a rest. I think he's been playing almost every week, and his legs aren't there. You can see.
How old is he
every-
now, Trace? How old is Silva now? How old is he now?
39.
39. He's either 38 or 39. I can't remember whether he's 39 yet. But he's like, you know, he's. You could see it last season with times when he looked tired. You know, when he was struggling, his legs just weren't keeping up with what he wanted to do. Fabulous player at one time, but I think he's done. I think he should have been retired at the end of last season, and he wanted to as well. That was the thing. They asked him to stay on because obviously they've got a bunch of kids, and they've got no one, no one with experience to lead it. I mean, what are they going to do? They've given Reece James the armband, which says it all, really, doesn't it? But I mean, for me, this is a problem with Pochettino. No discipline. This. Said it all along, it's always been a problem with him. He doesn't have discipline in his team, so when they lose, they tend to do this. They tend to collapse and people get sent off. That's what happens with them.
But they did look as though they were picking up a bit, didn't they? Last few weeks, they were playing a bit better and getting better results and making a little move in the right direction. But that was a massive downfall for them on Saturday, and they never played well at all. I only watched highlights of the game, of course, but they never played well, and they still look like a team in transition or a really bad side, one of the two. Which one I've not decided yet.
I'm just not sure they've bought well at all. Watching their players, looking at them, there's very few of them that I look at and think they were worth buying. You know, 100 million for Enzo. What does he bring?
I know.
For 100 million, I just don't see it.
From time to time, I see people in YouTube and stuff like that, different pages claim that he's a future Ballon d'Or winner. I don't know where that comes from.
No, I don't see it. Doesn't do enough for me.
He has some quality. Yeah, he has some quality, but
he's a decent player. But that's it. He's no better than say Ruben Neves was at Wolves. He's just nothing special for me. He's a good player, good Premier League player, but he's not a top-end Premier League player. You know, you wouldn't want him in your team if you're Man City. He wouldn't get near the side.
Would he get in the Liverpool side? Would any player at Chelsea get in the Liverpool side at the moment? I wouldn't think so, myself personally.
Oh, not even James.
No,
James certainly wouldn't. The way he played on Saturday.
Even with Robertson out injured, I don't think. I mean, Cucurella at one time would have been definite, but not now. He's
awful.
Robertson out. Yeah, he's just since he's joined Chelsea. I mean, I know he's had personal problems, so I don't know how much they're causing problem. His form had been picking up, but yeah, he just doesn't look the player he was at all. Not like he was at Brighton. I don't know.
That's been part of the issue for Chelsea. A lot of these signings, I look at them and a lot of them have had spells out injury or are just downright injury prone.
Or they seem to have lots of personal problems, or they just deform nosedives the minute they join Chelsea. Apart from the
Colwill, Levi Colwill.
Yeah, but he wasn't bought. He's a youth product, isn't he?
Yeah, but still.
He's the only one. He's the only one I'd consider I'd want.
He didn't start the game. It was Badiashile. I was gonna say maybe him, but he's spells outside, like away from the team.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's not first choice. Thiago Silva, I assume it's just because of Thiago Silva's experience that he's picking him. But, like, he needs to rest.
Oh, Caicedo! Oh, I forgot. Caicedo! You guys actually wanted him.
I know. Thank God we got lucky not getting him, though.
He's done nothing, hasn't he, Caicedo? Absolutely nothing.
He was starting to find some form before the international break.
But he wasn't actually doing anything. If you watch him, he's just.
But he was actually doing things that were hampering Chelsea before.
Yeah, he just stopped doing that. Yeah, that's true. He wasn't hampering them, but he still wasn't playing like you'd expect from a 115 million pounds worth of player.
I know we're gonna talk about
Lavia? What's happened to Lavia? What's happened to Lavia?
Injury.
Yeah.
Is he still injured? Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is Nkunku.
Yeah,
they're both out.
They're both on their way back though, and they desperately need Nkunku because he's the only goal scorer they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's had so many injuries now.
And he's got a knee problem.
Persistent knee problems.
Yeah.
You have to be really wary about it. At least for them, it's only one game a week for now.
Yeah, and then let's face it, next season it looks like they'll only be playing once a week again as well. So.
You never know. You never know. You never know about that risk. Maybe
they'll
some points deduction.
Yeah, that's true. Or maybe there'll be that many European places for next season because the UEFA will create another competition just so they can get Chelsea in. The way it's going, it'll be down to 15th place in the Premier League to get into the European competition. It's 5 in the Champions League next season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not been clear cut how the 5 teams are gonna qualify. Maybe it's gonna be historic. Maybe it's gonna be 5th in the table, or maybe it's gonna be a cup winner, or however it's gonna be. It's not been fixed, but.
It's madness, that's what it is. It's just getting ridiculous.
5 teams.
It's hardly Champions League, is it? Let's be honest anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. They've ruined it. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll move on to the next game, Nottingham Forest, Brighton.
Yeah, 2-3 with that?
Yes, yeah. For Brighton won. Beat them 3-2.
Yeah.
At Forest.
Yeah, I seen the highlights of that. Could have went either way. Forest on a bad side, to be honest with you. They work hard. Brighton are not the side that they were. And they to me look as though they're on the way down at the moment. I don't know whether it's because of the Zerbi, but they don't look the side that was taking points off all the big boys last year. And I think, they're not for me a side who I'd want to go watch at the moment because they are very wishy-washy. Play some nice stuff. They've got some nice players, but I don't know whether it's down to De Zerbi. I know you think it is, Tris, but they don't look the side that frighten teams and teams are wary of. I think they're well beatable by most of the Premiership teams. It's not going to always happen, but I think they are beatable even by the Notts Forest, the Evertons, and
Man United.
And the Man United, yeah.
But Forest fans are really disappointed with the result. I mean, that tells your story. They really are absolutely gutted. They believe that they threw it away rather than they were well beaten. I mean, that tells you everything for me. A lot of them blame, the manager's tactics, being too defensive because they think that Brighton were very beatable and they should have beaten them. So I think that tells me a lot more than highlights would do, because you tend to get an idea because you think about a lot of them. This is like fans that support Cooper rather than ones that the ones, because there's a couple that are against him on this site. But even the ones that support Cooper think he was too defensive and they needed to attack them more, and they should have got a result there. They were very disappointed. And then should we move on to the next one then? Sheffield United Bournemouth. 3-1 to Bournemouth.
Yeah, good result for Bournemouth. That a lot of people were saying that they'd turned a bit of a corner. The last month or so, they were absolutely awful. It's got to be said, they were absolutely awful, Bournemouth. But the last month or so, they have started picking up. Last 3 or 4 weeks, got some good results. Yeah, go on, Chris.
Playing teams like Burnley, Luton, and Sheffield United. So to be fair, it's not been. They've had quite they've had a good chance to pick up points in that run. They've had.
Yeah, you've still got to do it though, haven't you? You've still got to beat these teams, and they have been doing. So maybe they turned the corner. Dominic Solanke's doing really well at the moment. I'm not a big fan of Dominic, but he's been doing well really, and scored quite a few goals. So maybe they're on the way back.
When do Everton play Sheffield United?
You already played them 1-1 it was. I don't know when we play them next.
All right, then. So you're safe then if you say Sheffield United are the worst team in the Premiership then.
At the moment, I'd say they were. Burnley. It's between the two of them. It's an absolute toss-up, I think. Who's the worst side between them?
That's why I'm asking. Because if you were about to play them, obviously you wouldn't want to be saying it.
I'm not putting mucking on them no more.
Really, what do you make of Nottingham Forest?
I like Nottingham Forest, I think that they're a decent side.
Are they the worst team ever? Because you're playing.
No, they're not.
That's why he's talking.
I'm not. I'll say they're a very good side, and they can beat quite a few teams. That's not an easy game.
I will watch that Murillo.
You need to say some things about Burnley because you're playing them in about 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
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 I will beat Burnley.
Oh God.
No, Burnley are a really bad side. I'm not saying anything nice about Burnley.
You're setting them up. You're setting them up for a win.
If there's one thing that's for sure, though, Sean Dyche will have them up for a game against Burnley.
Absolutely, well, yeah. We beat them 3-0 the other week easily. They never had an absolute chance against Everton. But things change in football, and we just have to see on that one.
So when are you playing Forest?
Next week, this week.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, 5 o'clock kickoff.
I keep an eye on that Murillo playing for Forest.
Yeah, you like him, Tristan. I haven't seen much of him, but I know you're a fan of his, Murillo.
Him alongside Saliba, dream pairing for the future, that mate. Dream pairing.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's that good?
Oh, mate, he's quality. I don't know if he's still he's got a bit to learn like Saliba has, but he's definitely something special. There's a special talent there. He's amazing on the ball.
Next Van Dijk. Next Van Dijk then, huh?
He's
because you're not gonna get Saliba. You need to get someone else.
Yeah, he's someone I'd certainly be having and watching, but obviously I don't know what his personality and that's like. So I'd want him, I'd want to know whether he's the right type of person and the right attitude and all that. But as an actual player, the quality he's got it all. Some player, he's a standout for them. He's by far and away their best player, head and shoulders.
Oh right, okay.
I mean, he's a class act, him. And they really miss a one of you as well. So if he's still out, you'll be.
He's out injured again, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's out injured again, I think.
He seems to really suffer. I mean, all his career he's suffered with injuries. He seems a bit made of glass, bless him. It's a shame because he's a big lad as well. You wouldn't think he looks like a big bruiser of a lad, You think he'd just run through anything, but yeah, he always seems to be picking up knocks and that. So It's a bit of a shame because he's a classy player, really good.
Yeah, it's a big miss for them.
Anyway, should we go on to the final game on the Saturday? Brentford getting beat by Arsenal. You know what? I know Arsenal fans are going mad and they're all excited about being top of the table and that, but again, they were shit, weren't they? Let's be honest.
And I've actually seen this game, Chester. I was away in Chester, but
you didn't miss much.
Right, yeah, it was 0-0. I thought it was 0-0 because I was checking on the results and that, but it was 0-0 until very late on, I believe, and Arsenal nicked it. I believe Brentford were not happy at all with losing to Arsenal. They think they were the better side, what I read on it, but I never actually seen the game.
Well, they were the better side. Brentford weren't very good either. That's the thing. Brentford are a poor side. They're not a good side this season. And they were the better side, but Arsenal keep picking up results. A bit like Man United in the league. I mean, keep picking up results without playing well, and it's like, if it does click for them. But, the worry for me, what I'd be more worried about is that it makes Arteta think that his system's the right one, because, the system he's using, which is shite, is the right one. Same as Liverpool. They didn't, stick with their failing system just because you're picking up results, even though the system's holding you back. Teams can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be my worry if I was Arsenal fan. Anyway,
it was a goal by our friend, wasn't it? Kai Havertz. Who was actually, that I read this week, the highest paid player at Arsenal.
Yeah.
£330,000 a week, I believe, which is 100,000 more than the England midfielder. What's it? Declan Rice. And it seems they paid a lot of money for him, and he produced the goods on Saturday, but he hasn't produced.
How much did you say?
330,000 a week. It says on the report.
Okay, it could be. Because I'm pretty sure Saka is in 180, and so is Odegaard and Martinelli. Like they're very close to each other. They signed.
Yeah, I think Rice was 250, and then it went to Kai Havertz, which was 330.
Yeah, he's definitely the highest paid player there.
Yeah,
is the only
why
one
I don't know.
I was gonna say no. There's Jorginho.
No, it's Kai Havertz, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's Kai Havertz. What I read anyway.
Don't know.
But they're not the side. They're not a great side, are they? They're getting results, as you say, but they don't look a great side to me. And Saka's been awful, what I've seen of him lately, and I'm a massive fan of Bukayo Saka. Saka, look, I think he's a great player, but he's had a bad month. He's had a really, and for England, he was absolutely awful. But he'll come back because he is a quality player.
Yeah, I just wonder whether it's the system that's affecting the players, because they don't look as good as they were, and they do look like they're struggling. Only time will tell. The season goes on. We'll see as the season, over the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we move on to that? Because there's not really a lot to say about that, wasn't it? It was a dire game with a last-minute winner that makes it feel more exciting because when you're a fan of Arsenal, because you're scoring in the last second, so it's exciting, isn't it? Yeah. But like for everyone else, it's just like, and I suppose unless you remember just the goal. But yeah, the game was not worth watching. Tottenham versus Villa then, first on the Sunday, the early game. And
I watched that.
That was enjoyable. I really enjoyed that one.
It was a good game, very attacking. They're so open, Tottenham, though, aren't they? I love seeing attacking football, but sometimes you've got to rein it in a bit. I know they're missing players at the back, but they play a far too high a line, and they were just there for the taking by Villa, to be honest with you. I like Postecoglou, what I've seen of him. I didn't think he'd be great, and I was surprised how well they got off to a good start. But when I seen him on Saturday, and they look so open. They're lovely to watch, don't get me wrong. They play some really good stuff, but they're so open that they're always liable to get a bit of a hiding, and I think for me Villa were the better side, even though it was pretty close in the end. I think Villa are a very decent side this year, and it wouldn't surprise me if they got into the top four, Villa, the way they're playing.
So first half they were poor, but he made changes at half time and they came out and they destroyed Tottenham in the second, I thought.
Yeah.
The better side. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
What was really concerning for me is Tottenham looked like they ran out of gas at the end. Like they weren't attacking. Like even when they had a chance to break, like they didn't have the zip and that. They just didn't have players making the runs and troubling Villa, and that should be quite concerning if you're a Spurs fan because you have no European competition either. So your players should be able to like go the whole 100 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point. That they do look to have, their legs do look to fade as the time. To be fair, they are playing full-backs in centre-back positions and that, so you can understand why the defending's a bit poor, because I don't think the high line's an issue, it's the way they play the high line.
But you can't play a high line. You can play a high line with Ben Davies at centre-back, come on.
We can if he actually
it takes him a month to turn around.
Yeah, but you can if he's got the intelligence, if he had the intelligence to know when to run. But instead he doesn't anticipate anything. He stands and waits and reacts, and he gets caught out.
And he has no pace either. Yeah. He doesn't have recovery pace.
It's shocking that he's made a career at fullback because he's shit. Let's be honest. He's never been a good player in the Premier League ever. I don't understand how he's still at Tottenham. I was actually surprised when he still was. When he came back into the side, because I thought Udogie was there because he's Ben Davies had finally retired, but no, he's still playing. Shocking. He's such a bad player. He's up there with that Ward fella at Crystal Palace, the right back, who is possibly the worst player I've ever seen in the Premier League. As a regular, how he's a regular footballer, I just do not understand. But yeah, Spurs are a long way off it anyway, and Villa. Well, you know what? Emery's worked wonders there, but they're still, there's a lot they need to do to be better. They're still defensively. That Torres is so slow. They can be done. They could be, they play a high line. They can be done easily as well.
Yeah, but they got changed over last week. But they got changed over last week. Go on.
I'm confused. I can't cope.
No. You're saying if they play a high line, they would be done. But that's why they don't play a high line. That's sensible.
They do play a high line, Villa.
No, they play a decent line. They don't play Postecoglou high line. Come on.
No, they drop off. What they do is they drop off as soon as they lose the ball. They drop off a bit. So.
Yeah, that's a sensible. If you're sensible, then it's.
The Postecoglou one would be fine if you actually had players of quality at the back, like Van der Veen, who's lightning quick. You can make a high line work, but if you got Van Dijk or players of quality, Saliba, you got quality there, you can make it work. But when you're playing Ben Davies, Dyer, who was the other guy at the back? Emerson Royale, wasn't it? It's like, what the?
Oh yeah, Emerson Royale, terrible player.
Two shite fullbacks at centre back, and then you're playing it. You're not giving them any protection and playing a high. You're just asking for trouble. They deserve everything they got in that match. Really.
They are good to watch though. It was a really good game actually. I enjoyed the game.
I don't think the Villa fans enjoyed the first half. It's got to be said, judging by the posts on their site in the first half. Like I said, they were getting a bit of a hiding in the first half, but the second half was like a completely different game. True game of I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, should we move on to the what is the next? Is the sorry, I don't. Should we move on? What was it? Monday was the next match. No.
It was a 4:30 Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, that game, you know what? Everyone, all the pundits were tipping Everton. You could see it coming, that result. I didn't think it was coming, but when you look back at it, a lot of pressure on Everton to produce, and everyone was up for it. I think they were overexcited at what was going to happen. The supporters and everything up for them, and then first couple of minutes, a goal like that, it just put them right on the back foot. What a fantastic goal by Garnacho.
But then you had a decent keeper with arms that went the length of a T-Rex. He might have saved it. I'm not being funny, but he should have saved it.
I don't think many keepers would have saved that, Tris.
Alisson has had that all day long, as with Edison, as with any good keeper.
No, what you've got to remember is that...
It almost hits him on the way in.
Yeah, I know, but what happens is the keeper is going towards the player who's crossing the ball to cover his near post. Then it comes to the far post, so he's making tracks to his right. And Garnacho hits him, and then he's got to recover and get to the... I mean, many keepers would have stopped that, if any. I really don't. It was such a fantastic goal.
It was right next to his hand. If he'd have had a decent, normal length arm... He gets his hands to that all day long.
I don't think so.
Take anything away from the finish, was excellent, but the goalkeeping leaves a lot to be desired. Top class keeper.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, come on!
I don't think so.
I think I should get the deciding vote here.
No, it's a Man United.
No. Listen. No, that is not why it's a great goal. That kind of finish deserved to be a goal. I'd
agree with that.
Fuck off if you bring anything about Pickford's
because Pickford should have saved it. That's still the point, is that Pickford still should say it's a fantastic finish. Nothing can be taken away from that. That's not the problem. The problem is that, from an Everton point of view, to say that, say that's what took the wind out their sails, well then that's their own fault, because they should have saved it. Just like it's their own fault they got 10 points, because they should spend all that money.
Come on, Chris. You have to just let me have my moment.
Go on. You have your moment.
I remember. Maybe it was on the podcast, or maybe it was before or after. But I remember telling Chris, if we get this game is going to get a quick goal, and I can see us getting 2 or 3 goals in this game.
Yeah.
But I must say, I called this game to a T. I told you.
To be fair,
I told you it was. Yeah, we were gonna. There was all the talk about atmosphere and pressure and all those things. I said, an early goal, and then it's gonna show Everton up, and that's what.
I did say to you the crowd will turn if it happens, and it'll become a protest rather than a support, and that's where it goes wrong for everyone. They were too busy.
Yeah, for a moment. For a moment I thought it was. For a moment I thought it was the Manchester United away section, and all of a sudden all the ground is pink, red.
Yeah. But to be fair,
as well.
I mean, it's nice to see all red.
Too much pressure on Everton there. After losing the early goal, they were snatching at chances. We had some great chances, but we snatched at them because of the pressure, and it just never worked in our favour. And I'm still not happy with the coverage of Sky, who were in bed with the Premier League, by the way, not showing the protest after 10 minutes, not showing the plane going, which they did. Everything else. Go on.
Hang on, they didn't. That wasn't anything to do with being in bed with the Premier League that they wanted to turn the sound down. It's because of the language that you were using. The Everton fans had said they were going to use foul language in their protest, so what do they expect?
Yeah,
they always apologise for bad language in the crowd as it is. It's ridiculous and it's childish and pathetic that they think this is a problem. It's 2023. Kids can see, there's porn available 24 hours a day. There's bad language on every channel. You know what I mean? The kids could be watching Game of Thrones at 11 o'clock in the morning. Why is this a problem? 4 in the evening that someone swears on the TV. It's not anymore, but still, they still have this strange, pathetic attitude that we can't have swearing on the TV, because it's not like they'll hear it from the from the other kids at school or from their parents, is it?
I know,
what I mean?
It
It's utterly ludicrous, but it's the way it works. And
I know,
sadly,
but
that's why they turned it down. So sorry, I had to pull you up on that. It's not because they're in bed.
but they never showed the plane going over the Etihad with Everton's protest on the Saturday. They never showed that. Why would they? Because any other ones get shown. Any other protests have been shown up to now.
What protests, though? They haven't been protests. They've been calls for a manager to be sacked, and they've been shown just so everyone can laugh at them.
Talking about United and with the Glazers and Liverpool supporters when the supporters protested about the not wanting us to go in the Super League and things like that. It's always shown. Nothing's been shown. Andy Burnham come out and done an interview with Sky about why he thought the Everton shouldn't have been docked the 10 points.
Just after votes. Take no notice of him.
Andy Burnham is a quality person, let me tell you. Quality. I'm not saying that he's an Evertonian. I'm not saying he's an Evertonian. He's a damn good politician for me. And he's done an interview with Sky over the Everton's 10-point ban. And it's never been shown. It's never been shown. Sometimes I think that, I know that the Premier League are in cahoots with Sky and they show what they don't want the protests about the Premier League shown on the television. But nothing I can do about that.
It's not good for them, but like Andy Burnham and that. I mean, I've seen all this. The mitigating circumstances weren't taken into account. I've seen somebody say that on the Everton site, and I just laughed my ass off. That's why you were only in the dock for 19.5 million instead of 150 odd million, because of mitigating circumstances were taken into account. It's why you were allowed to lie and say COVID cost you over £100 million, more than every other team in the world. Any other sports team in the world made less losses than Everton, according to Everton.
I'm not saying it didn't, but there was mitigating circumstances.
And that's why you were allowed to take off a ridiculous amount and completely lie through your teeth about how much you'd lost during COVID, because they said because of mitigating circumstances. Don't say they weren't taken into account. They were.
We don't know.
This was
we don't know all the facts, Jess. We don't know all the facts. No one knows all the facts.
We know a lot more than the people posted on the sites who were just haven't
got a clue
what they're talking about. The mitigating circumstances were taken into account. The Premier League had all the accounts, as did the independent tribunal had all the accounts in their possession. They had everything Everton presented to them, and they decided it was a 10-point deduction was right. And they took all the mitigating circumstances that people are claiming they didn't take into account. They took that into account when they made their decision.
Right. Okay. It's going to take far too long than we've got today to discuss this. Let's go back to the game, right? United played very well, I thought. Missed chances, but I thought they played.
No, we didn't play very well. We were pretty poor. We were pretty good in the first half, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Kieran was the best man on the United side. Harry Maguire.
I know.
He had a really, really good game. Never thought I'd say that.
No.
Manu.
No, it was Kobe Manu. Yeah. He was everywhere.
One of the best. He was brilliant, and he was
covering for and he was actually covering for Maguire.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Manu was very good. Yeah, Manu was very good.
No, Maguire. He saved Maguire's ass at least twice in the first half.
Manu was excellent, really was. He was the best.
Yeah, he was a good kid. I've never seen him before, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen him before. But he had a really good game.
Isn't it his debut?
No, it was his first, full debut.
Yeah, full debut. So I meant, first start, I should have said.
Yeah, first start.
Yeah, looks a bit of a player then. I don't know what he done midweek, but yesterday against Galatasaray, but he looked a really good player. But I thought Maguire played really well as well. I thought Maguire played really well.
Yeah, Maguire was
Which surprised me.
All right.
Yeah, Maguire was decent, but that's partly because of the low bodies there.
Yeah, I think mainly covered him well and worked hard for him, and the rest of the defence, not just Maguire, because I think the whole defence struggles at the moment for Man. But yeah, mainly
a very good last goal as well. Very good last goal as well. Well taken by Matty Marshall. But yeah, you know, they deserve to win in the end. They deserve to win.
What do you think of Ashley Young?
I think he's awful, but that's maybe just me, you know. I think he's past his best.
Another one, I think he's past it. His legs are gone, aren't they?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's been a good player, but you know, Everton's trying to get best out of him while Coleman's injured. He doesn't fancy Patterson playing there, Sean Dyche. But I'd sooner have Patterson than Ashley Young.
I don't understand it. When Patterson's played, he's looked decent. I don't understand why he keeps going to Young, because Young just looks out of his depth.
Shocked. Yeah, he looks shocked to me, Ashley Young. I don't know why. You know, we'll never get to the bottom of why he picks him over him. But that's Sean Dyche's decision. I'd be playing Patterson all the time before him, but as I say, I don't pick the side.
He was lucky to not get sent off.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
That's quite a regular occurrence, though, isn't it, for Young?
It is, yeah.
Every time I watch him, I think pretty much he just gives away so many fouls that you think he's going to get booked here, and somehow he doesn't seem to pick up as many bookings as he should do.
No, and I wasn't happy with the call here. The call he's booking. He's already given us the free kick. What's the argument for? If they never give the free kick, I could understand that. But he's now on 5 bookings, I think, to Corey, and is going to get a ban after the next one. But a stupid decision to, once he played the foul, he gave us the free kick, and then he argues whether he wanted him sending off, I'm not sure, or booking. But it was just stupid by the Corey, and people, really things like that really rile me.
Yeah,
it does.
Really annoy you.
It does.
Yeah, I'm the
same. It was for yellow. You're not allowed to, according to the new rules, you're not allowed to ask the referee to book another player.
Which is fine. I think that's a good rule. I like
that
rule.
Okay. That's okay.
I just want that. I want that rule to be implemented, because it seems to have been forgotten in the past few weeks, and again this week.
It seems to depend on how the ref feels and who he's playing, which team's playing as well. If it's Spurs, then you can say they can do what they like. Let's be honest, their players, you watch them, their players are constantly calling for yellow cards. Man City are another team, their players in there, they're constantly asking for yellow cards.
Newcastle are the other team.
Yeah, Newcastle the same. Constantly, all the time, and yet they never get booked for it. But anybody else, it seems like the referees can't wait to get his yellow card out. It really does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Right.
Last game of the weekend, the Premier League.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get off in a minute. My kids today and out there.
Fulham Wolves.
Another week. It's another week, another apology to Wolves. That's the way.
No. Did it just take that back? 3 apologies, because there was two penalties and a headbutt. They didn't give. They gave one, didn't give one, and the headbutt they didn't give, and the headbutt. I mean,
headbutt was terrible, by the way.
How can he say it's too soft? It's either a headbutt or it is. It doesn't matter if it's soft or hard.
Well, the headbutt, it just ain't ever rolled around the breaking ground. That's all it was.
If he'd have done that, if he'd have gone down like most of the Premier League would, the guy's off straight away. No messing about.
Absolutely.
That is why I always say it's partly referee's fault.
It is the referee's fault.
Dive. No, not that one. That the players dive and roll around, because if you don't, then you don't get the decision.
Exactly. Every time in the box, if you don't go down, you don't get a penalty, and that's still it's referee's fault, and they can want to complain about it, but they cause it.
Well, he's going to do it next time, and rightfully so. If someone puts him again, he's going to roll on the floor. He'll be told to roll on the floor. And he should do, because you don't get that decision. That was absolutely scandalous.
Gary O'Neill, did you see his interview afterwards? He said that I spoke to the referee. He said he disagreed with me on the decisions, and then sent somebody out to speak to a member of my staff afterwards to say, no, actually, you were right, mate. We should have given those decisions. I mean, shocking. It really is. How many apologies can they get? You just think, it's costing them points.
Yeah.
And every point, and every time you lose a place, it's millions of pounds you're losing for a place now. It's not just, it's not just the prize money. If they're, every place they finish lower costs them prize money and sponsorship money.
I don't know. I feel sorry for Wolves. They get the bad end of the stick every time, it seems to me. And it was a decent game and all, quite an attacking game, and it was okay to watch, actually. I'm not a Fulham fan, but they played okay as well, and mainly due to penalties, like the score was 3-2. But it was quite an open and decent game. So
just a shame it's spoiled by referees again.
Absolutely, Tris. And how many times have we said that this year?
It's every week.
Loads of them.
What's that? 6?
It is.
6 apologies, and now they've had that. 3 decisions in one game that are that bad that they're having to apologise for them. You can't.
Absolutely.
Can't keep happening.
Listen, boys, I'm going to absolutely leave you. I've got 2 little handfuls running around me living room at the moment, so I will see you.
Boobs like that, mate.
A good one, that's it. Yeah. Right, okay. So I shall see you next Thursday, boys. Ta-ra, Deeps. Ta-ra, Chris. Thanks a lot. Bye now.
Right,
bye now.
We'll move on to European football. No point having Billy in for that anyway, because it's European football now.
I think since we're gonna talk about Champions League, it's time for you to say goodbye, Hassan.
Oh, you're funny. You won't be in it much fucking longer. Let's be honest. Europe at all, by the looks of it. Where you're going. So anyway, should we just quickly run through the scores? Lazio beat Celtic. They're out. Celtic are. Shame about Lazio, scumbags. Apparently they had a fans banner about the Irish famine. So nice fans they are. Shakhtar Donetsk beat, what was the other big game? Borussia Dortmund beat AC Milan in Milan. Barcelona beat Porto. Atletico Madrid went to Feyenoord and won 3-1. Man City beat RB Leipzig 3-2. And Newcastle drew with PSG due to a controversial decision, wasn't it, late on? Because they were winning.
But I read somewhere like they were being absolutely dominated.
Sorry, you're breaking up.
I read that Newcastle were actually lucky to be still in the game by that point. They didn't play it too well.
What they did was they sat back and held on to it. They scored and they just sat and held on to it. That's what it was. And so, PSG were able to get at them, but they didn't score till late on. So I don't know. Is it a resolute defensive performance, or is it that PSG battered them? I don't know. Depends on how you look at it, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, Arsenal won. Man City. I can't remember the teams.
Thrashed Darcy Lens, didn't they? 6-0.
Yeah, absolutely bad.
Real Madrid beat Napoli again. Bella goal scored.
Yeah. Barcelona beat Porto. They're through.
Yeah. But the other one, was it Galatasaray Man United? What was that? 3-3 was it?
Yeah, 3-3. Yeah, 3-3.
3 good goals by the goalkeeper Onana.
Absolutely perfect game.
Galatasaray.
Perfect isn't the word. An absolutely good game ruined by Onana.
Oh, I don't know. I thought he made the game himself.
Galatasaray had no point being in the game, but I think maybe Onana thought he was playing for the team in red, so he was always playing for the team that had red in them.
I think he's just
Maybe
shit.
that's. He makes Pickford look brilliant with those mistakes. Come on.
Oh, he is terrible. He really is. He's so error prone. I mean, this is something he's always been prone to. Maybe if you
We just need.
maybe you give him
I
the
think we need to
drugs.
swallow the pride. And I think we need to swallow
Gotta
our
be
pride.
changed, yeah.
Yeah, and go back to De Gea, apologize, get him back in.
I'm not
He's
sure.
still on the market.
Yeah,
No, we should.
yeah,
I think this is the time for us. I've been saying it for quite some
5
time now.
months without playing now. I mean, that's a worry.
No. I think no. If I'm being serious, I think this is the time for us to try and give the new guy a chance.
Yeah,
Altered by Indir.
you've got
How
to
worse can he do?
yeah,
How
see how,
worse
see
can
how
he
good
do?
he is. And if he's no good in the summer, you go and buy someone, Minion or someone.
I don't know who we can bring in. I don't know if we can afford to spend more sums of money, but let's see what Radcliffe brings in.
You've got to get some. You've got to replace Sonana though somehow. It was a terrible
Well,
signing.
I hear Nice are doing well, and they've like 10 clean sheets this season already
Yeah,
in the league.
what's their keeper like?
Yeah, Marcin Bulka,
Oh, is
ex
it
Chelsea and
Bunker?
PSG lad.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
quite good, him.
he's apparently the
I
players
don't
that have
understand why
been
Chelsea let him
with.
go and ended up with Kepa and bringing down the other useless twat they brought in. What's his name? Mendy.
Mendy,
Those two
and now
useless ones, and they got
Sanchez.
rid of Bulker. He's quite a good keeper.
Yeah, but PSG also got shot of him. But then again, PSG got shot of
Yeah.
Maiden, so
Yeah, I was
that's
going to
not
say,
good.
I really, PSG getting shot of good young players is something they do until recently. They've started to change that, haven't they, now? So, yeah, because they just wanted to buy stuff. They tried to buy success rather than build it, and it hasn't worked. Well, it has to a degree, I suppose, because they, in France it succeeded, but I mean, in European terms, it failed them. So.
Oh, by the way, since I made fun of Sergio Ramos, I think I should also acknowledge the fact that he tied the record for most goals in the Champions League for a defender,
Yeah,
and
yeah, he
also scored
scored
the
again, didn't he?
10,000th goal in the competition.
As they lost, though, it should be pointed out they did lose to
Yeah,
PSV Eindhoven, who aren't the best side
at
in the
home,
world. At home,
at
yeah.
home.
So,
He says they're not the best side in the world. They're not even the best side in Netherlands.
yeah, true. That's very true. They weren't even the best side in Seville last night. And I wasn't talking about Sevilla because obviously Betty's.
The British weren't playing last night.
I know, but they were still better than PSV Eindhoven, and Sevilla. So.
Yeah, well, they're flying in the league, I see.
Yeah.
13 out of 13 for PSV this season. Wow.
Yeah, all joking aside, they are a decent side. But they're just not a great side.
Yeah, but still, that's 13 out of 13 for anyone in any league is.
They're probably going to win the league, you would expect, the way they're playing, but then you never can tell, can you? They can collapse, have bad injuries and all that, but by the looks of it, they look to be the strongest side in Holland at the moment. Holland's a very up and down league.
Yeah, but PSG being up there is not too much of a surprise.
No, but I mean, it's just like, Feyenoord, PSV, Ajax. None of them can seem to sustain a.
No, Ajax had a sustained run at the top of the table, to be fair. It's just this last season they were not that great, and this season they've been absolutely horrendous. But otherwise.
Yeah, they did, but I'm talking about like last couple of years. It suddenly just seems to since they've fallen apart. There's nobody's actually filled the gap. It'd be like when Bayern struggled, it was always Dortmund stepping in, but now.
Oh, then it's just like Italy. But after Juve
Yeah.
stumbled, it's like every season someone else is getting
Yeah.
the time in there or something.
I don't know if it's better that way or not. Sometimes it feels like it shows the weakness of the league. Sometimes it feels like it's the strength of the league. It depends. In Italy, it's clearly because the league's weak. Because you know, you watch their teams play and you just think they're not very good, but they still seem to do all right in Europe. It's surprising. It's the way they play, I suppose, because they don't take chances.
But also with Italy, it's becoming a bit worrying now because the best team in Italy are now. I think it's almost going to be Juventus again. I'm not saying they're gonna win the league this season, but they're starting to become the best again.
You do wonder who have they paid this time, though. You know, what wheeze have they done rather than when Juventus are winning, you just don't, it doesn't feel like it's done legitimately ever. Because like I don't think they've ever won a legitimate championship, have they?
I don't know, but you have to keep in mind, like a lot of betting scandals are coming out in Italy right now.
Exactly, that's what I mean. You just start thinking, that's clearly involved. They're clearly involved. It's bound to be.
How long? Yeah, how long before Juventus get like really embroiled in this one again?
It's always that. It's just like it's embedded in their culture, isn't it? At Juve. Just seems to be the way. Every time there's a scandal, Juventus are at the forefront of it. Always, I don't know why. But yeah, so Galatasaray, Man United, that's definitely the death. It's got to be the death knell now, hasn't it? For oh my God, Onana's career.
For Onana? No. He's gonna start at the weekend as well.
Yeah, but what I mean is, it's got to be the moment when United surely have to have said Ten Hag, even if he survives, you know, because obviously you never know when if Ratcliffe comes in and buys and takes control. You know what I mean? Takes control of the football side. They usually want to bring in their own men, don't they? Doesn't matter how well it's doing. They always seem to want to make changes.
And also like Ten Hag comes across as a guy who can easily rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, and he does seem to want everything his way.
Yeah, he seems to be a bit abrasive. And
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he fell out with Ratcliffe and his team if they ever actually do take some part of the club.
Yeah,
it just keeps on going on. Like next week, like in a fortnight, this month, and then just keeps on moving on and on.
I mean, has it got any nearer? Because like I don't know what's going on there. It's ridiculous. It always seems to be on the verge of happening, but never actually happening.
Do you know who wins the Golden Glove if the season ends right now? The Premier League.
You're gonna say Nana, aren't you?
Yes. Top of the
that's astonishing.
No, that just shows clean sheets isn't just about goalkeepers.
Very true. Good point. And it also shows it's not really a measure. Yeah, it also shows it's not a measure of how good a keeper is. Because if it was,
but I must say,
defensive midfielder, it's not really a measure of how good they are. It's just one aspect of the game.
Yeah, but I must admit, like our defense has been pretty terrible as well this season.
Yes, how have you kept so many clean sheets? That's what I don't understand. You've been awful. I mean, there's nothing about your team that's played particularly well, is there? Really, let's be honest. You've not attacked well. Your midfield haven't worked well as a unit, and your defence has been poor. How are you not? How are you picking up so many good results? It doesn't make sense, does it? Football is such a bizarre sport.
Yeah, 5 clean sheets for Onana, Nick Pope, and Sam Johnston. 4 for David Raya.
So what's
You
Sam
would have
Johnston? Wow.
Crystal Palace. You would never guess.
Yeah, no.
I could have given you 20 attempts and you wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah. Well, you might have guessed him only because you say, well, what about you'd have gone through team by team. That's the only
Yeah, but
way.
even then you would no. But even then you would have guessed maybe it's Raya or Ramsdale. Like, you know what I'm trying to get, like keeper setup.
Oh yeah, never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have even. I wouldn't have named Sam Johnston as the first choice to Crystal Palace, anyways.
Yeah, to be honest, I had to think about where he was. That's why I was saying Sam Johnston. I had to question because I was trying to remember where he was at. I'd pretty much forgotten he
Alisson has 4.
existed.
Okay, Alisson has 4 clean sheets. Now he's not. He's been injured, so he's not gonna catch Onana anytime soon.
Now he's injured. He wasn't injured. He's
Yeah, now he's
only going to miss a
catch
couple of weeks. They expect him to be back to face United
Oh,
at the
no.
moment. That's the expectation. He comes back to face United. Which I'm sure is
no.
good news for you.
That is what I'm saying. Oh, no, I know.
Yeah.
I dread the thought
To be honest, I'm not too worried.
that he's gonna come home. Is he?
I'm not too worried about Kelleher being in goal. To be honest, he's not. It's not like it's you're playing a crap keeper there instead of him, is it? If you had Raya and Ramsdale as your pairing, you've got worries. If you've got Kepa and Bendy or Sanchez, you've got worries. But Kelleher is a decent standing. He's not Alisson level or even close to it, and he'll make errors because he's lacking experience and that, but yeah, he'll do a job. I'd rather have him than someone like Pope.
That's just blasphemy.
Literally, yeah. I suppose it is. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a good
But
chance for him.
if we are gonna talk about United, then it's quite a month for us. December. You want to
Yeah, go
see
on.
the
Who you
fixtures?
got?
Newcastle away on Saturday. Midweek Chelsea at home. Then Bournemouth at home, which should be relatively easy. There's a Champions League game against Bayern Munich. There is a world where we can win that game.
Yeah,
We can win that game and still get knocked out, or we could win that game and finish second.
that's a big game as well. That is.
Yeah, but we don't have our fate in our hand. We need the other game to be a draw for us to go to the knockouts of the Champions League. Then, like, on Tuesday we have a Champions League game. Sunday we play Liverpool at Anfield, so Daddy's gonna come home. By that I mean Salah. He's our daddy. See, have I told you this crazy?
You've already
crazy
got an
stat?
Arab owner, haven't you?
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah.
There's a crazy stat like Salah has scored 29 goals in the past, I don't know, 3 or so months. No, not 3. Maybe 5 or 7 months. I don't know. But Salah has scored more
or
goals.
something,
Yeah.
isn't it? They're more than Man
Since
United,
March.
yeah.
It's I think it's 5 months of football, not 5 months.
Yeah.
And that's one more than Man United with 28.
Yeah. It's astonishing start it is, but and he's not even particularly on form. That's the scary thing. His goal scoring isn't the best.
Yeah, I was gonna say his goal scoring isn't like at his highest.
Christ, could you imagine
elite
this?
level.
How many has Haaland scored in the same? No, because he had a bad,
No, not many.
He's had a bad run since then. Since about March, he just dropped off, didn't he?
Yeah, when the going gets tough, Haaland gets.
Yeah, he's flat trap bullying a bit. Let's be honest. I mean, I know he scored against us, but he was absolutely anonymous against us, to be honest, and he should really have had more.
I'm telling you, like he scored 2 against us, and he was quite poor against us.
Yeah.
Even when he scores goals, he doesn't necessarily have a brilliant game.
No, but he scores goals. Just like Jota.
And that is what matters.
They keep putting them in because they score goals, and you think you're watching them thinking they're fucking terrible, but they score goal, and then you forget they're terrible.
And then after Liverpool, we play West Ham away, Aston Villa at home, Nottingham Forest away. So a lot of tricky and tough games.
Because you struggled against Forest as well first time round, didn't you? I know you got to, but it was a really tough match for you. Yeah, wasn't a yeah, you get battered and then come back and got it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could be in a totally different situation.
Yeah, but it could also like make our season. December can definitely make or break our season. If we can turn the, I can't say the results around because we're winning in the league, but if we can turn the performances around.
Yeah, if we start playing well as getting the results, things could pick up. But you just don't look like a team that's there, or that's.
Yeah, but
right.
in a way it is. Yeah, but in a way it is a good thing that you're still up there without playing well.
Yeah.
By playing horribly, because if you start playing well, if you can start to play well, then it's gonna bode really well for you.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that if is the big one, isn't it?
Oh, by the way, we talked about all the teams in the Champions League, but what about Liverpool?
Fucking annoying. Yes, we play tonight in the Europa League.
Ah, no, there is no European football on Thursdays. What are you talking about? What small competition is it?
Well, you won't be in European competition on a Thursday the way you're going, so yeah. That's true. At least that's something to look forward to in a couple of weeks. Because you'll have the midweek games free, so you can just have an early night instead, can't you? Rather than having to watch football.
Oh, like I actually stay up to watch Champions League. I know we're not gonna win. Why would I want to watch Real Madrid?
Glory hunter.
Yeah, why would I want to watch Real
You're
Madrid?
You're a glory hunter. That's what it is, Lekanda.
So, okay, we're like what, 5 games in the group stages. Who do you have as winners? And you have to make a prediction.
Oh fuck no!
I know you're a Jonah, but you have to make a prediction. You have to put your neck on the line.
Champions League game, mate. I don't.
No, but you know where the teams stand, at least points wise.
Yeah, it'll be Real Madrid because Bellegal will score the winner.
Yeah, but they're starting to have problem with injuries.
Yeah, but by the final they always pull it out the bag, don't they? And Bellegal, Bellingham is just the best player in the world right now.
I think if I don't know why Salah's season isn't being talked too much. I think maybe it's because Nunez just doesn't want to score when Salah lays on a plate for him. Did you watch the video I sent you?
Yeah, and he just keeps missing when it's Salah's passing it to him.
No, yeah, Salah passes to him on an open goal and
he still misses, yeah. Or he hits the post.
I'm telling you, at least
that's one of the best assists of all time. That Come on, that's world class. You know he saw the reflection and he saw him in the goalpost. Saw his reflection. Thought, you know what? This is just showing off. He's just showing off. That's what it was. Showing what a team player he is. It's just jealous because you couldn't do that.
No. If Nunez converts those chances, then Salah has 4 more assists at least.
Yeah.
Maybe if you go through the archive, you can find some half chances with others could have done better with. But
The thing is, Nunes at
I'm telling you,
times
if you give,
is
I'm telling,
incredible.
I am telling you, if I'm telling you, I'm the worst player I've ever seen myself. But even I would at least score one of those chances.
I think I'd put money on myself to score at least one of them, probably more, because they were easy chances as well. They're the ones he misses though. I mean that one for where Gravenberg puts it in because he gets off the post. I mean you don't get much easier than that. Open goal.
Gravenberg showed how to do it. He had like 3, 4, maybe 5 players swarming around him after that.
Yeah, but
Sure.
it was the assist that made it. See, that's the thing.
I would never have watched the highlights of that game if I hadn't seen the picture I saw. Like,
Yeah, you
Nunez
think?
got an assist from this position. I'm saying there is no one there.
Yeah. You got to question how does that go down as an assist though? I mean, it just shows how ridiculous stats are because that should not be an assist. He's not deliberately tried to play him in, so it
Yeah,
shouldn't
if
be
you
an
win a
assist.
penalty, it's not an assist. I'm pretty sure. Or you win a free kick. Let's say you win a free kick and then the guy scores from it directly. It's not an assist, but
An
if
assist
you hit,
should be you've made a meaningful contribution to a goal. I mean, you get the assist for the assist as well, isn't it? As a stat now, a
a
second
second
assist.
assist.
It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, okay, there's times when that's a meaningful goal, when it's in the middle, in like a David Silva beats 8 men, pulls it back to somebody who then plays it across to somebody else who puts it in the back of the net. That second assist that David Silva used to do, that's a meaningful start. That's a meaningful contribution. But some of them, I mean, it's just a pass sideways 5 yards under no pressure in the middle of the pitch can be a second assist now. I mean, Christ, it can be an assist if you've got the right kind of player in for. I mean, how is that? How is that a meaningful statistic when you can get, when you can get a point for that or whatever you want to call it? It's useless, isn't it? It doesn't tell you anything about the quality of the player at all. And that, for me, is what stats should do. They should give you an idea of how good a player is by how, their statistics should give you an idea of how good they are. An assist stat should be about how creative they are. And not like how well he can pass sideways 5 yards under no pressure. Or how he can miss a shot and it hit the post and it comes back out to somebody who happens to be on his side, It's just, sorry, on my soapbox there, because it's not that I hate stats. People think I hate stats. I don't. I really love statistics and that. I love them. I really do. Proper stats in general. Statistical analysis is something I love to, reading through stats of all kinds. I find it fascinating. But anything, I like stats. I like numbers and that. I am a bit of a nerd in that respect. But I just don't like out of context stats, where the stats are actually meaningless and aren't a quantifiable, how can I put it, aren't a measurable statistic. It's more objective than it should be objective rather than subjective. What you're measuring.
Yeah, you just get lost because not all. Even if we're talking about goals, not all goals are created equal.
Yeah, I mean, a penalty shows you certain things, but it doesn't show you other, it doesn't show you other things about goals scored. And they should be a separate statistic from normal, from other type goals scored. Free kick goals scored again should be kept completely separate because they're a totally different skill set. And you should be statistically analysing them as a separate thing because they take a different kind of skill than a goal, goal on the run. A goal on the burst as well should be taken differently from a tap in from 6 yards. A headed goal should be separate. Again, they need context, basically. You need more data. There's just not enough data in the stats they give. That's the biggest issue. sorry, on my soapbox there again. But it really is something that bugs me because I love statistics and they're just so badly used in football. You don't really have enough data to, point to data anyway to take out anomalies, which is the biggest issue because you don't play enough games. So there's not enough, there's not enough statistics. Like baseball, they play like 100 games in a season or something ridiculous like that. So they're playing virtually every night. So you'll get all these days, over the course of a season to see where, it gives you a chance to iron out anomalies, and see whether what's right and what's true. They get rid of the false data. The more the more stats you have, the more reliable they become because the more data you have, the more you can compare. Because anomalies are such a big thing, and that's why you get these one-season wonders and that, or players that can play well for 6 months and then just fade, never seem to, it just dies off because they can't keep up that consistent level of performance because it was an anomaly. Usually, not always. Sometimes it can be injury that cost them. Sometimes it can be just the teams work out their style of play, but sometimes it is an anomaly. They just go through a hot streak. Anyway, sorry. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I guess that is deal for us.
Don't think there was anything else. Did anything else happen? Any other news?
Nothing that turns up.
I can't think of anything. Yeah, not we can really talk about. We can't. No, I can't think of anything. Oh yeah, it was the Champions League 10,000 goal, wasn't it? Ramos scored as well.
Yeah.
10,000
Yes,
goal in the Champions League.
I mentioned it.
Yeah, you said it was scored the record number.
Yeah, both. I mentioned both.
Yeah,
15. Joint highest.
Oh, joint highest. Sorry. I think that's it then, isn't it? If there's nothing else you can think of. You don't want to talk about Everton's point deduction or anything?
No. See, I think.
I was joking. Don't worry.
I think it's see you next Thursday. Goodbye.
I think it is as well. Okay, see you next Thursday, mate. Take care. Thank you.
See you next Thursday. Bye-bye.
Kai and Michael that were listening. Take care of yourselves and have a good weekend and hopefully a good night tonight. Come on, Liverpool. Bye-bye. See you next Thursday.
I don't know what's along apart for you.